We've spent a lot of time talking about what happened before Julie Jackson ended up on Register Road. We've gone through the statements, we've gone through the autopsy, we've gone through her toxicology. But now we're getting deeper into the Georgia State Patrol investigative file. And this part starts with the man behind the wheel. Because before we can start talking about other vehicles investigators looked at, the names that were circulating, and where this investigation went next, we need to establish what the file actually says about the driver who encountered Julie on Register Road. The driver identified in the Georgia State Patrol file is Jesse D. Solomon. Solomon is the driver whose vehicle struck Julie after she was found on the roadway. And Georgia State Patrol didn't simply take his statement and send him on his way. The investigative files show they also obtained blood and urine from Solomon and submitted those samples to the Georgia Bureau of Investigations. So before we get into anything else, here's something we can establish from the laboratory record. The GBI blood alcohol report lists Jesse D. Solomon as the subject. The results of ethyl alcohol was negative. There was also a separate toxicology screen. According to that report, Solomon's blood tested negative for barbiturates, cannabinoids, benzodiazepines, cocaine, and cocaine metabolites, and common opioids. The confirmation screen also reported negative results for the prescription drugs and over-the-counter medication included in that testing process. So when we're talking about this driver, that's an important part of the record. The testing contained in this file did not identify alcohol or the screened drugs in his system.
So tell me what happened out here.
193.
Which way were you going?
This way I was heading to work.
You was heading that way?
Donald,
I
for the GSP Sierra, 20 minutes.
So I know I thought it was a deer or something.
So you're heading towards Gordon Highway?
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, you didn't see her or nothing like that? You just felt, bump, whatever?
Yeah, I felt a big bump in the road.
And you came back?
I came back and seen the person. That's when I called the police.
That's the driver in his own words. But as investigators continue working this case, their attention wasn't limited to the vehicle that ultimately encountered Julie on Register Road. Other names were coming in, other vehicles were being looked at, and one interview in particular starts opening up a completely different set of questions. Now, this is Douglas Grime. He knew Julie, and investigators interviewed him while trying to reconstruct what happened that night. Some of what you're about to hear is firsthand information. Some of his information Grime says he heard from other people. That's an important distinction. Listen to what investigators were asking, what Grimes was telling them, and especially what happened when certain names began coming up.
Pretty good.
Good. What can I do for you?
I was just telling you, me and Joey, we whatever, and I got sent to a rehab down in rehab for like 4 months.
Okay.
And I was talking to her like 9:45 before she had went to work and stuff, and she was telling me that Jennifer wanted her to go to Duke's with her or whatever.
Yeah.
Take her to go to Duke's to the bar or whatever, and I tried to talk to her like, ask her not to go or whatever, you know what I mean? And
Why?
because she was doing good. She ain't been on no drugs or nothing, and I told her her recovery is more important. Plus, I just had got minutes on my phone that day, and I told her that we could talk. First, she said she wasn't gonna go, but I could tell in her voice that she was gonna go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she left work about 10 or whatever, and I talked to her a little bit on the way home. And after that, she texted me a couple times, like 10:30. She was like, I tried to call you, but you didn't answer. But I was mad because I knew she was going. You know what I mean? And then I just, after that, I found out about it.
Who told you?
A guy named Joey. He called me, which was one of her mama's friends, and it was Julie's friend.
What have we heard as far as what happened?
This is a text.
This is Brittany's mom?
No, this is Brittany texting Julie's mama.
Brittany texting Julie's mama after the fact or before the fact?
After the fact.
I need before we're trying to track down who hit.
Yeah, I understand. I don't know. The last text I got was at 2:02.
2:02?
Yes, sir.
All right, hold on. 2:02 a.m. Now remember that time, because that's getting extremely close to the timeline we've already established from the Baldwin County records. According to Grimes, he received a text from Julie at approximately 2:02 that morning. So now the question becomes, where exactly was Julie at 2:02? Who was with her, and what was happening around her when that message was sent? Let's keep listening.
this is. I just wanted to just show y'all these texts, make sure it was adding up for what they were saying too, because I don't see Julie laying down in that road. You know what I'm saying? Like, and where the phone got thrown out at.
Where? The Dollar General?
Yeah. And
Who picked that up?
Jennifer went back and got the phone that morning.
Jennifer got the phone?
Yeah, erased the messages out of there.
And we're back to the phone. All right. Now we have an allegation concerning information being deleted from Julie's phone. I'm not presenting that allegation as established fact. I'm asking what investigators did after hearing it. Was the phone secured? Was it downloaded? Was its location history examined? Was the communication around 202 preserved? Because once someone tells investigators that information may have been removed from the phone of a woman who died only hours later, that's no longer just gossip about that night. That's a potential evidence question. Let's keep listening.
Yeah, and then who'd she give it to?
I guess Bonnie. Bonnie's got the phone, I guess.
So when they were coming down the road, Julie threw her phone out the window.
That's what they said.
Okay.
Well, this is what this one says. This is what Brittany says.
We did.
Have you heard of a girl named Taylor?
I've not heard of Taylor yet.
That's the one who found the phone.
Yeah. Apparently some black guy found the phone, took it in there, and Taylor works at Dollar General. Do you know that?
Yes.
So Taylor is the one that looked through the phone to find out it was Julie's.
Yes. It says she's seen my messages in there. I heard. I'm not too sure, but and then Bonnie texted me back and says that
I lost it. Sure.
And
what is Taylor's relationship to all this?
Nothing I know of.
Okay.
And I understand, like, if Brittany was in the car, like at the Dollar General, wherever the phone got thrown out, she says right there she met her mama. Supposedly she met her mama at Eric Adams' house.
Yeah.
Which is right across the road from where Penny lives at. You know what I'm saying? Penny.
Okay.
And that Penny is Brittany's mama and Josh's mama.
Yeah.
And if they turn out their driveway, they got to go left to the end of Carley Farm and turn right on Mount Pleasant. You go right past Kirk's house.
Yeah.
Where Bonnie was staying. Like, why would you go past her house?
Where the crash happened, was it at 184?
It was on Register Road?
It was on Register Road.
Yeah, 184 Register Road. Was it right in front of there?
I don't know. I didn't go to the crash scene.
You didn't go. I thought, okay.
I met Brandon at the hospital.
And there's also, I don't know if this helps or anything, but on Register Road, if you turn on Register Road from Mount Pleasant side, and you go all the way past all the houses, the next driveway past the last house that you can see on the right, there's surveillance cameras on the
Yeah, at 184.
Yeah. There's surveillance cameras pointing all there. I even told her mama about it, you know.
And there's another lead, surveillance cameras. Remember, we've already heard Jennifer and Josh state their vehicle going back and forth through that area. So were those cameras ever checked? Was the owner contact? Was the footage requested? Was anything recovered? If nothing was recovered, is there documentation showing what attempts were made? Because if vehicles traveled that road when witnesses say they did, surveillance videos could potentially help establish a timeline. That's exactly the kind of lead I'm looking for as I continue through this file.
I'm trying to help any.
Did you go talk to that person?
It's locked. 200 acres.
Oh, nice.
Do not enter. I didn't feel like getting shot this morning.
The people that own it might be on the other side over there on Cobb Road. I'm not sure.
Okay. All BS aside, as far as like the interrelationship stuff that's going on, and as far as who's been with who and who's clean and all that, anything on who struck Julie?
Right. So,
like do you know anything? Is there word on the street as far as
up here? That's why I heard Penny.
Penny hit her?
That's what I heard.
And that's
Josh and Julie's mom. I mean, Josh and...
That's the second time it's come up. What?
And there it is. Investigators didn't say that was the first time they heard Penny's name. He said that's the second time it's come up. Now that doesn't establish that Penny struck Julie. Doug himself describes what he's repeating as something he heard. It's a lead, not a finding. But investigators apparently recognize that wasn't the first time the allegations had surfaced. So now I want to know, where did it come from the first time? Who said it? What did investigators do to test it? All right, let's keep listening.
Where does she stay?
Right across the road from Eric Adams.
Where does Eric stay?
On Carley Farm Road.
Wait, they just asked where Eric lives. Why does that matter? Because we've already documented Baldwin County's involvement in events connected to that location. So I'm asking a records question here, not making an accusation. What information had Georgia State Patrol actually received from Baldwin County by this point? Because if information was moving between these agencies, how much of it should investigators already have known? That's the question we're going to keep following. Let's get back to the interview.
Right. If you go around, if you're coming from the Stop and Shop side, you know the short curve on Crawley Farm Road. The real short curve right there by Adams Trailer Park.
What type of cars do they have?
Penny's got a blue Civic that's all kind of beat up in the front end. Got some kind of like rims on it or whatever.
Okay.
Was that it?
No.
You know, Jennifer said she wished she would have looked for it
Well,
longer.
that's how you do it. You can't.
I don't understand if Jennifer looked for it. Why didn't she find her? You know what I mean? Like,
Oh.
because Julie went and ran off in the woods and hid. Are they saying she was already hit before she got run over?
We're trying to figure out. There's so much other stuff going on as far as
Right, I understand.
that. Our concern is the crash. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
and I feel bad for everybody's arguing and everything, but that just doesn't concern me at all. And so it's trying to separate that from the crash, and so I think we need to talk to Penny. That's our next route.
Did you try to talk to Penny this morning? Or have you?
I have not made. That's the first time I heard. You got a number for Penny? Okay, but Penny is.
But Brittany should have a number for Penny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's her mom. You got Brittany's number? Or I got it in the car. Fuck.
Oh, Bonnie or Kurt, maybe.
Hey Eric, it's Corporal Barton with the State Patrol. How you? You got a number for Penny? Penny. Brittany's mama. It's Corporal Barton with the State Patrol. I tried to call Brittany and she didn't answer. What's your address? Yeah. Do you know hers? Straight across the road in front of 338 Conley Farm. Alright. Thank you now. He ain't got a number for her, but he lives at 338 and is straight across the road in front of him.
Alright, let's go talk to Penny.
Alright.
Now we've got some questions. We started with Jesse Solomon, the driver whose vehicle encountered Julie on Register Road. We have his interview, we have his blood alcohol testing, and we have his toxicology. Those records are in the file. Then we get to Douglas Grind. We hear about the 202 text from Julie. We hear about Julie's phone. We hear about allegations about what happened to information on that phone. We hear about surveillance cameras. And we hear Penny's name surface in this investigation. Not once, according to an investigator himself, twice. Then investigators locate where Penny lives, and we hear them say it ourselves. Let's go talk to Penny. So naturally, I went looking for Penny's interview, and lo and behold, there isn't one. And before anybody says maybe new media just didn't receive the entire file, I asked. I went back to the Georgia Department of Public Safety and asked about records I received. And this was their response. We never keep some records and send some. My job is to send you everything we have, and I did. But there's another part of this email that has to be reported. The department says it suffered a ransomware attack July 26, 2019, which caused it to lose most of the items before that date. That distinction matters. So was Penny interviewed? If she was, what did she tell investigators? If she wasn't, why wasn't she? And where did the first mention of her name come from if Doug's interview was already the second? And that's not the only thing I'm looking at. What exactly passed between Baldwin County and Georgia State Patrol during this investigation? What happened to Julie's phone? If Grimes said he received a text from Julie at 2:02, what does that tell us about the timeline? And we've already heard accounts that don't perfectly line up about Penny's movement that night. One account has Brittany going across the street to her mother's house. Another one has her mother pulling up. Those details need to be compared, not blended together. Then we got the cameras. If vehicles were traveling up and down that road the way witnesses described, How aggressively was that surveillance lead pursued? Was footage obtained? Was it unavailable? Was it ever requested? I want the documentation that answers that. Because this isn't about taking a rumor and turning it into a conclusion. It's about taking the investigative file and asking whether every available lead was actually followed. We still got more interviews in this file to go through, more statements, more records, and we're going to keep putting them beside each other because sometimes the biggest question isn't what somebody said, it's what happened after they said it. This is Lamar King Sr., investigative analyst, new media, where the truth will never be silenced. Be great today. Peace.